Hey everyone, buckle up because the GPU world just got flipped upside down. AMD has unleashed their new 9070 XT, and it's not just competing with NVIDIA, it's outright challenging the green team's dominance in a way we haven't seen in years. If you're wondering whether this card is worth your attention, here's the hook. It's pumping out more frames than NVIDIA's 5070 Ti, and whispers in the tech world say it's $150 cheaper. That's right, performance that punches up, at a price that pulls you in. Stick with me because we're about to dive deep into what makes this card tick, how it stacks up against NVIDIA's heavy hitters, and why I think AMD might have just stolen the spotlight. Let's kick things off with the big picture. AMD's been the underdog for a while, but the 9070 XT feels like their moment to shine. It's part of their shiny new 9000 series, built on the RDNA 4 architecture, and it's flexing some serious muscle. We're talking 16 GBs of GDDR6 memory, same as the 5070 Ti, but with 64 compute units and a boost clock that leaves its predecessor in the dust. Meanwhile, NVIDIA's got the 5070 and 5070 Ti in this fight, and I've put them all through the ringer to see who comes out on top. Spoiler, it's not as one-sided as you might think.
First, let's zoom in on the 9070 XT's performance at 1440p, my sweet spot for gaming. I threw it into the ring with the NVIDIA 5070, both hovering around that $550 mark. In most games, the 9070 XT edges ahead by 5 to 10%. Titles like Horizon Zero Dawn and Starfield show it flexing its muscles, but then there's Red Dead Redemption 2, a jaw-dropping 20% lead. That's the kind of jump that makes you sit up and take notice. But hold up, there's a twist. In Assetto Corsa Competizione, NVIDIA's 5th i70 just runs away with it. I retested, swapped setups, even questioned my sanity, but the results stuck. If you're a racing sim nut, NVIDIA's still got an edge there. For everything else, the 9070 XT is holding its own and then some. Now let's talk value, because this is where AMD starts swinging hard. The 9070 XT is priced at $600, and it's going toe-to-toe with the 5070 Ti, which costs $750. In F124, Hellblade 2, and even Cyberpunk 2077, the performance is so close you'd need a microscope to spot the difference. AMD's own tests admit the 5070 Ti is slightly faster overall, but when you're saving $150 and barely noticing the gap, that's a win in my book. Compared to the 5070, the 9070 XT is about 15% faster on average, 20% in some cases, and a ridiculous 52% in Red Dead 2. For just $50 more than the non-XT 9070, you're getting a 12% performance bump. That's not just good math, that's a no-brainer upgrade. What about pushing the limits at 4K? Here's where the 9070 XT surprised me. In God of War, it's basically neck and neck with AMD's old flagship, the 7900 XTX, and NVIDIA's RTX 4080, cards that cost a fortune last gen. In Forza Horizon 5 at max settings, it's nipping at the heels of the NVIDIA 5080, with 1% lows that are practically identical. If you're rocking a 3080 or 4070 right now, this is the kind of upgrade that'll make your jaw drop. And with 16 gigabytes of VRAM versus the 5070's 12 gigabyte, you're future-proofed for those 4K textures without breaking a sweat. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Let's get real about the catches. First up, upscaling. AMD's FSR is still chasing NVIDIA's DLSS, and in games like Cyberpunk or Black Myth Wukong, it's not even close. FSR can look over-sharpened, shimmery, and ghosty. Think of it like a budget filter that doesn't quite cut it. NVIDIA's poured years into DLSS, and it shows. That said, I got my hands on FSR 4 in Black Ops 6, and it's a step up, cleaner, less soft than FSR 3. If AMD can spread that love to more titles, they might close the gap. For now, though, if you lean on upscaling, NVIDIA's got the upper hand. Then there's ray tracing. In Cyberpunk on RT Ultra, both cards are solid, but crank it to RT Overdrive, and the 9070 XT stumbles hard. Could be drivers, could be NVIDIA's optimization tricks, but AMD's own data backs this up. Ray tracing's not their forte yet. Power efficiency's another ding. NVIDIA's Blackwell tech sips less juice than RDNA 4, even on similar TSMC nodes. I haven't done full power tests, but early signs point to NVIDIA winning that round. Still, at around 300 watts, the 9070 XT's cooling, especially on models like the Power Color Red Devil, keeps it in check. No thermal drama here. One more thing. If you're into 3D work or creative stuff like Blender, NVIDIA's still king. I tried running Blender on the 9070 XT with a beta driver, and it was a no-go. Couldn't even render. It's a niche issue, sure, but if your PC doubles as a workstation, NVIDIA's the safer bet. For pure gaming, though, that's where AMD shines. Here's my take. The 9070 XT is a love letter to gamers who care about raw performance and killer value. At $600, it's delivering enthusiast-grade power that used to cost double. AMD's not just beating NVIDIA on price to performance, they're rewriting the rules. I've been skeptical of AMD launches before, drivers crashing, screens going black, but this time, smooth as butter. Everything worked, games flew, and I didn't have to babysit it. That's a huge leap from the old days. What's wild is that NVIDIA could have countered this. Their architecture's technically better. They could drop a card that smokes the 9070 XT at the same power level. But they're not. Look at the 5080, cap TDP, holding back potential. It's like they're daring AMD to take the lead, and AMD's saying, bet. NVIDIA's got the tech edge, but their pricing feels like a cash grab, and that's where they're slipping. So wrapping this up, the 9070 XT isn't perfect. Ray tracing lags, FSR needs work, and it's not your creative sweet buddy. But for gamers who want max frames at native resolution without selling a kidney, this is it. At 1440p, it's a champ. At 4K, it's a contender. AMD's thrown down the gauntlet, and I'm here for it. This isn't just a GPU, it's a statement. NVIDIA better wake up because AMD's not playing around anymore. That's my deep dive. Hope it helped you figure out where this beast fits in your setup.
If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell to the later update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end and see you in the next video.